Hey everybody, Damon at Greenhorn Gardening, and you're looking at the same old pile that I have I've had cover cropped for for about a year now, and I cover cropped this back in the autumn, and I had no fertilizer on this whatsoever, and yet look at how green these greens are. It's a turnip plant that I planted on this same thing. The mosquitoes are killing me. It is incredibly green. No organic fertilizers whatsoever. The only thing I put on there was a cover crop of hairy vetch. And I put a few leaves of turnips on there, hairy vetch, and some rye. I'm going to come back around here. And this is that rye, which was this is the hairy vetch here, which was really big. It's cooked down a lot now. And look at this, almost just broke down and just almost half done, and I haven't had it in a full compost pile at all. And look at how much is broken down. And this stuff breaks down pretty fast. That's the thing I love about it. Sorry, the mosquitoes are killing me, folks. I'm not going to be out here very long, but this stuff breaks down really fast. Normally I would have this already worked into the soil and everything, but it's been so hot, and sometimes here at the Greenhorn Gardening I just let the garden go in the summers, and I just have a autumn, winter, and spring garden. And I just kind of take a break a lot of times during the summers because it's just so hot, and it's dangerous down here to be gardening when it's so hot. But anyway, this is broken down very nicely, and it's done so well. It's ready to incorporate in, and especially when combined with the leaves over there. But that just shows you what you can do just with cover crops to fertilize your garden. Again, this soil, I've never had a soil test with it, but I had this delivered via, just for those who don't remember, I had this soil delivered via dump truck, about 5 cubic yards or so of topsoil. And look, we got all kinds of oak trees growing in this thing now. It's time to start moving this stuff out, because if we don't, it's just going to get taken over by everything. But if you look at these turnips, you look at how incredibly green that is. All I did was have an incredible, densely planted stand of rye and hairy vetch over the course of a winter. And then you just kind of plant almost directly down through it here. And look at how green everything is. And this is in the middle of the summer, the hot Alabama summer. And look at how incredibly, turnips are not supposed to grow in the summer here, but we're under a lot of oak trees. A lot of things are growing here that we're going to have to get rid of. But the thing is, it's growing well, and things are growing out of it. I mean, and it's good stuff. And that's what you want in your soil over the course of time, is to get better with time, get better over time. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this soil, since it's been here, and we're going to put it here in the wheelbarrow, and we're going to start moving it. Consequently, you can do this same thing with your garden. A lot of people don't think about this, but you could work your soil now, put cover crop in it, and don't plant in it for a whole year. That'd be a year well spent. A lot of people don't have the patience for that, and it's really too bad, because most of my gardens, that's exactly what happens. I end up trying to rush things that first year, and you're just wanting everything to produce, because we live in such an instant gratification society that people don't really realize the value of just the long range plan, the long range view. And one of the things you have to do is treat your soil and work your soil. It's just been sitting here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and put it on our existing beds that have already been worked up for the year, and just put this on top of it and mound it up some. And on our mounded beds, the mounded bed version of our raised beds. So there's a lot of sand in that. It drains really well. There's some good bit of clay in it as well. There's sand, silt, there's sand, clay, and there's some compost in it because of, you know, where do we get the compost from? The root matter from all that rye and hairy vetch. I mean, this thing was totally green with hairy vetch and rye. We cut it all off and set it over there and let it start breaking down. Okay, and we'll take that vetch over there. We'll probably combine it with the leaf mold pile there, and then and put that on top or whatnot. But the organic matter is already in the soil because of the cover crop. That's the value of the cover crops. That's why that's why you hear me talk about cover crops and green manures, because it's like putting money in your Roth IRA, your mutual funds wrapped in your Roth IRA or something. You know, it's just like money in the bank. And so you can buy a pile of dirt and just let it sit here and do that. And that's about heavy enough, because if we get too much, that's some of the clover there. And I grew clovers here as well. And I had a whole can of compost in that trash barrel there. And I just kind of dumped it all. Once I cut it all off, I just dumped it all here on the surface as well. But it's all doing quite well. And it's getting close here. I mean, look at that. You know, it's pretty good. I love my favorite part of gardening is all the stuff you do to build the soil. And then after a year, 2 years, 3 years, you go back, you look at everything you've done, and it's like, wow, this is just gold. You just can't buy it. You know. And that's the thing. And so consequently, I'm actually working on a new project. One of the books I plan to get written, the little ebooks that I plan on putting on Amazon Kindle, is the Raised Bed Grower's Guide. And I plan on putting that on Amazon Kindle. I know a lot of you wanted a low-cost, low-time commitment product, and that would be the perfect little thing, you know. And I take some time to write it. Usually in July, I take some time and just kind of and you know, it's kind of like July. It's like 6 months from Christmas, you know. And so a lot of times I'll end up taking a little bit of time, rethink some things. But anyway, you know, all of this is just going to go into the garden, just as a mound, and I really am satisfied with this. And there's still root matter in here to break down. A lot of it has broken down, but a lot still to break down, and we'll be planting cover crop and things like here. That's a rock there. No, it's a piece of clay. No, it is a rock. But anyway, as you can see, that is good stuff. What kind of soil experiences do you have that you've have built up and over the course of time and years and whatnot? And what have you seen improve in your soil as a result of using some of the ideas and things that we talk about, the cover crops, green manures, organic fertilizers, and like? Tell me. I really would like to know. And you can just comment down below there. And because we all have had it, you know. I know I've heard somebody, you know, talk about their leaf mold making their soil acidic, but you know, you have to lime it up and all. I may do a separate video on that. But let me know how your soil has improved over the course of like the past 2-3 years maybe. And you can leave the comment down there and let other people. It's nice to share this stuff with other people, so they can get the experience and learn from what you've learned, mistakes you've made, or successes that you've had, and it can help us all become better gardeners, you know. And so, hey, just leave that comment, and I will talk to you guys later.